Alright, so we are sitting at about 5 till we get everything rolling here, guys. We're going to kick it off with the, well, looks like we're going to end up starting with the Mistweaver Monk. We're going to actually play through the artifact quest this morning. See how it's looking. A lot of these are coming down to the final wire on their setup. I'm thinking we're getting pretty close to go from alpha to beta. So just going to end up taking a look at it. I did do the prologue at the Peak of Serenity for the Monk already, so we will be skipping that, and I have just taken the quest for the actual artifact weapon for the Mistweaver. It'll be a good start. Just going to end up waiting here until about 9 o'clock, and then we'll get everything rolling. I guess we can go ahead and get into a little bit of the spells and abilities for those of you who are watching and want to check it out. You've got a few new abilities. You got Effuse. It's basically your efficient spell. Any spell that you cast now, you actually channel Mist. I'll go ahead and you'll see I'm just channeling it non-stop on myself, and it'll do this until you commit to another action. And I do have a talent that lets me actually continue channeling as I move. You got Enveloping Mist, basically the same deal. It's going to end up causing a hot over time. It does some pretty intense healing. It's actually your heavier heal. Does really good, and also increases the healing received from your other spells by 50%. Renewing Mist has gotten a little bit of a change. Basically with Renewing Mist now, it just stays on the same target until they are actually at full health. If it's still got a tick left or time left and that person reaches full health, it will jump to another person. The other thing that Renewing Mist has a chance of doing, and we'll see if we can get it to proc, but it'll cause your Vivify to be free of charge. So, oh, I'm sorry, not free of charge. Basically, it's going to have a 4% to increase the healing of your next Vivify. Vivify, from what I understand, now again, I have not done anything with this. I have not done any dungeons, any raid testing on this guy, nothing of that sort. So, this is going to be a new playthrough for me completely. From getting the artifact quest to the dungeons that we'll try and get into a little bit later. Now, Vivify, basically this causes a surge of invigorating mists, surrounds the target, healing them and their two nearest allies for 11,686. Doesn't seem like that much, but if you get that proc, it's going to be a pretty big heal. Zen Pulse, this is actually a talent that I decided to take. It's your level 15. You've got Chi Burst in there. We all know what Chi Burst is. It's just that ball that you end up tossing that goes forward, healing you and all the people in its path. Zen Pulse, basically what this is going to do, it's going to pulse, dealing X amount of damage to all enemies, and then the ally is healed for that much. Now on your bigger pulls, especially for challenge modes, I can see this one being really good on your tank. You hit this on your tank, it's going to do a pretty good amount of damage, and then it's also going to end up healing for all that, and on a 15-second cooldown and free, sounds pretty good to me. Mistwalk, basically this is a speed increase and also gets you into the group. So if you're doing a lot of AoE heals, you can dash to your tank if you've got a stack deal and just start doing your AoEs right then and there. Especially if you decide later on taking Rushing Jade Wind, that'll end up helping a lot. Your next set of talents here, your level 30 talents, you got Chi Torpedo. It no longer does a heal, but it does increase your movement speed for 30% afterwards, and it increases the distance you actually end up going instead of your roll. You've got Tiger's Lust, which I think this will be better for when you're doing Windwalker or Brewmaster, either one of those, to where you don't have to worry about it, fire and forget, and just increase your movement speed for a short period of time. Celerity, it's the same thing, one extra charge, and then your roll is reduced by 5 seconds on its maximum charge. So basically you just get to roll a bit more. all mobility right through here. This is going to be dependent on how you want to do your playstyle. 45, you've got life cycles. Enveloping Mist reduces the mana cost of your next Vivify by 15%, and your Vivify reduces the mana cost of your next Enveloping Mist by 15%. So, it's kind of a wax and wane situation. Plays decently, I guess, for the monk. Spirit of the Crane. Tiger Palm causes your next Blackout Kick or Rising Sun Kick to restore 1% mana. Yeah, again, it's player preference if you're still trying to do the damage build set. Mr. App's the one that I decided to go with. Increases Enveloping Mist duration by 1 second and its healing bonus by 20%. You may now channel Soothing Mist while you move. That to me sounds pretty good. Allows for extra healing, and if you've got problems, you know, it's going to help out a lot. Especially on some of the fights that we went through on, I've got a video coming out of the Vault of the Warden. That place is pretty high intense movement. Alright, so this is going to be kind of your level 60, your not so PvP, but like your CC group here. You've still got Ring of Peace, does basically the same deal. Song of Chi-Ji is a new one. Conjures a cloud of hypnotic mist that slowly travels towards enemies touched by the mist, fall asleep, disoriented for 20 seconds. I'm pretty sure this also ends up getting broken combat. Didn't decide to end up taking it. We went with the old-fashioned leg sweep. Basically knocks them down and stuns the enemies, so you can end up getting that break on damage if your tank's getting pummeled to death. Healing Elixirs, Diffuse Magic, Dampen Harm, all these are basically the same. Healing Elixirs is slightly different. Basically, heals you for 15% of your maximum health when damaging attack brings you below 35%, or when you drink tea during while injured. The effects can only happen once every 18 seconds, but still, that's pretty decent. Considering if you're doing your teas, they're on a pretty decent cooldown. Thunder Focus tea is 30 seconds, so every time you use it, if you got a little bit of damage, you'll end up healing right back up. Alright, so Summon Jade Serpent Statue for your level 90 talents. It is now a talent. Interesting deal, but now it only actually heals the same target that you have healed, that you're channeling Soothing Mist on, and it only does it for 50%, so I'm not sure how good this is. It's definitely going to be more tank focused. Decided we were going to try and invoke Chi-Ji. This is a cooldown. Basically, you end up invoking Chi-Ji, the little crane spirit, and it runs around pecking heals into people. From what I've seen from some other videos, that actually looks pretty neat, and some testing that I've done, a couple Mistweavers that I've seen playing, I've seen them using it, and it looks like it's a pretty strong little 3-minute cooldown. Freshing Jade Wind, same thing, seems a little weaker than it used to be. Manatee, it's changed quite a bit. You no longer get this as a passive ability to where you're building teas. Basically, all it does is reduce the mana cost of your spells by 50% for 10 seconds. Might be good if you're doing a huge burst AoE situation to try and keep mana, but not too interesting. Nothing interesting in this department, unfortunately. Focus Thunder is the one I decided to go with. Thunder Focus Tea now empowers your next 2 spells. So basically, here's your Thunder Focus Tea, and what it does now, it'll empower your Renewing Mist, where it does not trigger a cooldown. It empowers a Fuse, increasing the healing by 150%. It also does Enveloping Mist, makes it an instant cast, Essence Font, castable while moving, and Vivify, no mana cost. Boom, here's Rising Thunder. Yeah, basically it makes it to where Rising Sun Kick resets the remaining cooldown on Thunder Focus Tea. Yeah, I could see the gameplay in that one if you wanted to go more of a damage build. All these, though, your damage abilities actually don't heal anymore. Basically, you've got Tiger Palm still, all the same stuff in your damage kit. Here's the Chi Torpedo. You still do have Revival, does the exact same thing. You still have Life Cocoon. It's going to do the exact same thing. Let's see, this is Essence Font. Essence Font is a new ability. It is channeled. Unleashes a rapid whirl of healing bolts up to 6 allies within 25 yards every 1 second for 2.5 seconds. Each bolt heals a target for 5,713 plus an additional 2,492 over 6 seconds. With gear, this might end up being good. We'll give it a test in one of the dungeons, see how we're actually doing. You still got Detox, Vivify. This is another talent like I had told you. The Zen Pulse, it's new. Figured I'd test it. Looks really nice. And then over here, what you've got is Resuscitate, your normal res. And then it seems like all the healing classes, I think I mentioned this before in one of my other videos, your healing classes are going to be the ones that get your mass res. And this is one of them. Reawaken returns all dead party members to life with 35% of maximum health and mana. Cannot be cast when in combat. So that's that. Nothing new. We'll go ahead and just show you through the talents real quick. Your new mastery. Alright, Gust of Mist, Effuse, Renewing Mist, Enveloping Mist, and Vivify also costs a Gust of Healing. Instantly healing the primary target for X amount. Currently it's 9,252, and again this is all base gear from starting the alpha character. As you can see, I'll show you here in a second. Also, let me finish through this, but Teachings of the Monastery, I was going to say Monstrosity, that wasn't going to work. Tiger Palm increases the damage of your next Blackout Kick at Rising Sun Kick. Blackout Kick has a 30% chance to reset the remaining cooldown at Rising Sun Kick, so it's a back and forth. This is just to help you DPS a bit. And then Soothing Mist. Soothing Mist, after casting any spell, is just going to do a ticking heal every 0.4 seconds. Not sure if that's adjusted by haste. I'm guessing it probably is. Alright, so we're sitting at 680 item level. That's what you end up getting whenever you come into the alpha. Every single time, doesn't matter, nothing special here. We just got basic healing items. Went through and put all the healing gear that it gives you on. Alright, that's it. And we are currently over just a little bit, so we're going to go ahead and continue on. So, Tic Tac, Tac Tac, whatever his name is going to fly us to the Terrace of the Endless Spring. Here it is, a place we thought we would never see again. Unless you like running for transmog stuff. Pretty neat little dude right there. Alright, so we got a heal Terran Zoo here. We're in a party. Let me adjust this real quick. I'm guessing I gotta break these guys out.
I won't let you down.
It's a little different to try and get used to. I'm used to being able to spam Renewing Mist a bit more. This little circle restores 5 mana per second. I'm going to go ahead and let her take care of that while I try and open some more of these. See what this Vivify does. Nah, I didn't see too much there. Seems like the healing's alright. This seems a little lighter than what it probably should. So that's just... Vivify looks like it's just going to be a small burst heal, kind of like a weak circle of healing.
I'm with you. Are you here to fight?
Seems to proc a bit more than it seems on that Vivify too.
Behind you.
Just keep renewing Mist up off of on cooldown and it'll do alright. Get in here and do some damage. Seems pretty weak. Ooh, buddy. Started getting interesting there for a second. Let's go ahead and test out this Essence Font. Oh, that's kind of cool. Costly, though. 12,800 mana. Definitely don't want to do that too often. We'll try GG. Oh, that didn't do nothing. It's dead already. What a waste. What's this buff do? Damage don't increase by 50%. Casting speed increased by 50%. Huntard gives damage dealt. Damn, these guys need to hold still for a second. Alright, so basically the same deal. It's just if you got you've got your range buff here, stand with him if you're running as ranged. Cool. Looks like I gotta talk to these guys. Alright, so we're gonna... Looks like we get a choice between AIs. Either don't be too aggressive. Nah, let's get this done quick. We'll just out-heal it.
Good to see you.
Basically tunnel vision.
You are.
I'm gonna let these guys tunnel like crazy.
The Shadow Pan welcome you.
Let's go. Damn.
Ha! Burn, baby. Burn.
I like the new timer display that they got on here for your cooldowns too. Instead of just a little swirly they used to have. bubble to end up keeping an eye out for. Taking some decent damage. So you just got to make sure you dispel him, keep him out of this bubble. Alright, some tornado action. So far this doesn't seem too bad. Zen Pulse doesn't seem like it heals for too terribly much. The damn tornadoes are like following you. Oh, there we go. With the ads, it works pretty good. We did blow through the cooldown, see how well they fare. Looks good so far. It's actually a pretty interesting little fight here, guys. These tornadoes are a pain in the ass. Kind of in a way reminds me of oh, what was that place in Kata? You had the Throne of the Four Winds, I believe it was. You had that one boss that did the tornadoes. Sound like someone died, but it doesn't show it on my bar, so we're gonna keep moving here. Alright, that was definitely interesting. Good little fight there. It'll actually end up testing if you're capable enough to be a healer, that's for sure. And I think that might be it. Yeah, got the staff already. That was pretty short. Let's see. Grants you the Shulan's gift spell, which significantly heals an ally. Now we gotta fly home with Tak Tak. Where's Tak Tak? There's Tak Tak. And off we go! Alright, so. Pretty interesting little deal there. Probably the shortest artifact quest I've done so far. Again, I did do the prologue into the Peak of Serenity, which takes a little bit. Wasn't too bad, but...
You seek. Slow
Gotta use the forge.
is to be savored.
Alright, so... Increases healing from enveloping mist by 10%. Here we are, unlocking everything. Let's take a quick look at it real quick. Let's see, the big dragon featured abilities, whatever the hell you want to call them. It's Blessing of Yu'lon. When you use Revival, the Spirit of Yu'lon appears and grants all allies healed by Revival an additional 30% of the amount of Revival healed for over 6 seconds. So basically, Revival now gets a hot. Nah, I guess that'll be alright. Let's see. Celestial Breath. When you activate Thunder Focus T, you exhale the breath of Yu'lon, healing all allies within 12 yards for whatever damn healing. This is kind of like, we had a talent, didn't we? I think they had a talent at one point in time that kind of did the same thing. I think at the beginning of WoD they were doing something with it. May even be implemented now, but I know it's not that. I think it comes from the actual dragon itself. Alright, whatever. The Mist of Shailun. When you heal allies, Shailun has a chance to draw in nearby mists, increasing your healing over time effects by 20% for 10 seconds. When this ends, Shailun will release a wave of mist that heals all allies for 50... okay. Not too terrible. It probably is going to scale quite nicely. It doesn't seem like much right now, but again, we're 680, we're level 100. It'll probably scale much nicer. Some of the smaller ones, Protection of Xiao Hao. Absorption amount of life cocoon, so a little bit more shielding. That's going to be OP because shielding is almost non-existent right now. Increase the healing from enveloping mist. Alright, stacks 3 times, so probably 9%. Soothing mist, again, probably stack up to 9%. Light on your feet. After fully channeling Essence Font, you move 30% faster. So basically, you can hightail it the hell out of there after you end up casting this long channel. Yeah, it's not really too bad, but still, 2.5 seconds on that channel. You're probably going to want to move after that because there's a lot of high mobility. Mist of Life. Life Cocoon now applies Renewing Mist and Enveloping Mist to the target. That's kind of cool. That's basically a tank save right there. Not only are you shielding it, but you're putting both your hots on it, and Life Cocoon still increasing all healing over time received by 50%, so that's going to do a lot of healing. Let's see, Essence of the Mist increases the healing of Essence Font by 3%, stacking 3 times. Coalescing Mist increases the healing of FUs by 3%. That'll be nice. Keep you a little more under control mana-wise. Enemies within 8 yards of your Transcendent Spirit have their movement speed reduced by 20%. That's all PvP. That seems PvP right there. Or if you're doing kiting. Maybe they're bringing back range kiting again, who knows. That'd be kind of neat. While channeling Soothing Mist, damage taken is reduced by 3%. Now that seems really good, especially with the talent we've got where movement. That might be really good for raid content. Just for the survivability, not having to worry so much about healing yourself, keep on everyone else. Extended healing, increase the duration of Renewing Mist by 2 seconds. Ooh. That could be interesting too. Get more of those Renewing Mists, get more Vivify procs. Right, that's what, yeah, Vivify. Increase the healing of Vivify by 3%. Not bad, stacks up to 3 times, so I'm guessing 9%. And I don't know if I went over this one, but Essence of the Mist, increased healing of Essence Font. Let's see, Shailun's Gift. Drawing all nearby clouds of mist to heal for blank magic clouds of mist. Absorb increases the healing amount by... Alright. Guess we'll pull that down, see what it does. 1.66 second cast. And we'll turn this in. So while we got it, while we're fresh, we're going to go ahead and click here and just join a random dungeon. We aren't going to do heroic. Like I said, first time healing on this guy in the Legion Alpha. So we'll just go ahead and hit normal. It is a pretty neat looking weapon though. We can actually go over what the looks are. Yeah, I like that. Perfect. Comes right up to it. So we got a green version here. It's just your standard blue, red, and yellow. Yeah, all basically the same thing. Let's let this thing do its little turnaround here so we can get a better look. Alright, blue, green. That's a pretty neat looking model right there. Looks more like you'd hit somebody with it though. Now you get these by unlocking class hall campaigns, all of your artifacts. It's got a bunch of... Oh, this one's really neat, the Chi-Ji. And these are the PvP ones. Basically unlocking your prestige levels as you end up going, which if you didn't know, prestige is your new setup. You go through, you unlock the talents. And once you get them locked all the way up, I believe you can reset them to continue on to the next prestige. I haven't done any PvP yet in the alpha, but I'm sure we'll get to it eventually. But it's kind of neat. Kind of got that Shaw essence. It'll bring back some SOO for you guys that miss it. I don't know anybody that does, just like Dragon Soul. It's kind of hit or miss, I guess. So we're 2 minutes on this quest. We're 2 minutes into this queue. We're going to go talk to Master Hethu. Shu. Whatever. Says he is right here. Master Planning Minnow. Oh wait, I'm Minnow. Maybe there's a place to come outside here. Not seen this guy so far. I think there's a way to get up top.
You are most welcome.
Not targeting either, so let's read through this quest. Reading's good. Got it, so we gotta go find the inn. From the looks of it. Now where would that be? Now mind you, this is going to be your new monk area, the Temple of the Five Dawns. This is your monk class order hall. And it's back on the Wandering Isles, the big turtle. So that the Peak of Serenity, I'm not going to really reveal what happens to it right now. I'll do it in another video. If you haven't ended up seeing it already. But it's kind of neat. If you even look, your Zen Pilgrimage no longer takes you to the Peak of Serenity. And again, that'll all be explained. I'll do the Windwalker video a little later here if I don't get a chance to do Brewmaster first, because I am really looking forward to it being released. I believe the only two that are left not released currently are Destruction Warlock and the Brewmaster Monk. Ah, there it is. So there's a little teleporter over here that you gotta end up taking. Guess I should have looked for the big bright light before. This takes you up, but I don't think this is still it. Alright. This place is by far confusing so far, guys. I guess I'll get it eventually. Still another level to go up here, so maybe I've got another teleporter somewhere. We'll figure it out. They need to be a little more clear on this one, I'm guessing.
Tell me of your travels.
Yeah, he's set up a command center within the inn. Where in the hell is the inn? This is down there somewhere. Yeah, we're gonna head down there. That looks like it might be a little better. To be continued. That question mark doesn't help me any. It's causing more confusion. Oh, there's a portal to the Peak of Serenity right there, so I guess you can still get back. Aha! Portal to Dalaran. So it looks like you got your portals here now. They're just everywhere.
How? May the eternal
Yeah, this ain't even in the inn. Alpha at its finest, yet again.
winds be at your back.
Alright, so. Alright, garrison missions at their finest. The troops are hungry. Go pick up a few pies. So you are buying pizza for somebody. Yeah, something that could have stayed out. I mean, I guess it's alright for those that enjoyed it, and from what I understand, it's going to be an optional deal. But still, this is pretty unimpressive. At least now you'll have a garrison with, you know, everybody else that's in your spec over here. or your class. Yeah, they still got it set up to where you choose your assault point in the end, so maybe they moved it out here to make it look better. Give you more interaction and less claustrophobia. We'll check out Stormheim while we wait. And here we go.
We shall meet.
So we gotta travel to Dalaran now. Now the way that they're doing their questing now too, basically your questing zone is going to level up with you. So you can start anywhere, you can do anything. We've only got a few zones that have been released. Well, we have 3 of them. And I believe one of the zones that you end up seeing on this map, it's going to turn out to be like an endgame zone. So I think there's only one other zone that they're going to release for actual questing. But it looks good so far. I will say, like I've said in every video, it's turning out to be really good looking. As you can see, Dalaran, they've got a bunch of nice looking things. I don't have this turned all the way up either. Normally when I play, I'll play with everything on Ultra and it looks really good, but as you can see, they've done a lot to buff up their graphics. You'll also see it in the new recommendations for their computer systems. They do, for Legion Alpha, have a new minimum requirement, which is boosted quite a bit. Now we're here, travel to Dalaran. Let's find out who we're looking for. Said so-and-so tried to find you. Or you gotta try and find them. Not too terribly sure. They requested us. And it's gonna be over there. As you can see, Alpha and their mapping still hasn't gotten great, but they are doing some updates. Kind of giving it more of that visual perspective and a little less cartoony. Still a work in progress. New Dalaran.
Get moving.
Looks like they're still missing some of the voice acting here too.
Let's get a move on. The Dark Lady's fleet is nearly ready to leave.
And I am playing as a Horde Panda, by the way, in case you didn't know. So this may be different for the Alliance side. Ha! How do you like that placement, Ed? Still looking. Oh, there it is. Thought we were going to be looking at a wireframe ship here.
Try not to get yourself
We are
killed.
the Forsaken. We will slaughter anyone who stands in our way.
So it looks like they're wanting me to catapult? Not too sure I like this idea. I gotta speak with the Dread Captain first.
for Sylvanas.
I guess we just play it through the RP. Now, I myself, even though I'm playing through this right now, I probably won't end up reading this until it's live, just so I get the true sense of it, because there's a lot of dialogue that's changing. Apparently in Val'sharah there's a deal where the allies talk down to Vol'jin, and I guess it's getting a lot of hate, and now they're going to end up changing it. So we'll see what goes on. So a lot of this dialogue, it may be close to set in stone, but don't think it is. This is still alpha. This is testing. If it's getting a lot of disregard, they're not going to end up continuing with it. Alright, so we're getting into our own little instance here to get on this island, I guess. We gotta report to Sylvanas.
What joy is there in this?
Yeah, see, this isn't done either. There's like no sound, no nothing. Except for from Sylvanas here. No music.
My queen, your safety must be our first concern. Surely we can leave a few ships behind to... Yes, of course. Come along, hero. A single gunship? Are they insane?
At least they're getting the voice acting in on this one.
Incoming! Man that catapult!
Let's see how this goes. Targeting on this is a little off. Doesn't appear I can zoom in either. Alright, so this is a pain in the ass. They need to fix this camera. We'll just start shooting blind, I guess. Oh, Alpha. So they froze the catapult solid. Oh, got it. So it's going to kind of do like gunship in ICC. You got to kill the mage once it freezes it.
I need to get closer.
So this is the little misting that it was talking about here. And you can use Shylun's gift and it'll suck in all this mist and do a heal, AoE heal. That was the artifact weapon, and we are unfrozen again. Targeting still sucks. Gotta shoot down 30 of these guys, so we're gonna just... Since we can't see too well. For blind fire, there's enough of them up here to make it easy. Not having this targeting reticle kind of sucks. But then again, it is alpha. Alright, back to kill another one of these. Neat staff that it's beating this guy with. Let's keep our renewing mist on us. Now this probably worked better if I was actually doing it in DPS spec, but I'm trying to show you guys that you can still do damage as a healer. I showed it on the Holy Priest. The Holy Priest might need a little damage tuning for personal questing.
I am out of range.
A little bit of movement involved here. Not the fastest situation, but one thing's for sure. Whoa! Alright, gotta get used to that range on Chi Torpedo. 2 more. Get us out of this.
The bold
Alright.
my ship. Come on.
Life is good. So, getting on this Griffin. Getting on his ship, yeah. It's a neat ordeal that they've got these instances, you know, that kind of promote you into doing these quest lines. It's something they did well with changing the scenarios, in my opinion. Now you'll notice Mistweaver, I don't know if the rest of them have it or not, but I'm pretty sure it's Mistweaver only right now. But you do have a chance whenever you cast Blackout Kick to reset your Rising Sun Kick. They don't give a % chance, so probably something that'll need to be data mined and figured out later.
I do not have a target.
Knight Captain Brimley. Now I guess we don't do orbs anymore. Looks like it's going to be these puddles, and then to get them you actually have to cast the Shylun's Gift, and it does give a number of how many mists you have in range too. If you end up watching under the 6 key, there is actually the ability, and you'll see it start stacking as I do more healing. Or as I do more damage, more abilities. The more abilities you end up casting, the more chance you have to produce one. So it's going to be a pretty active healing spec. See, you can see the counter down here. It's starting to increase. Now again, this is my first time running through, so these are all just observations I'm making as I go. And then what's to do again?
But it would be rude to show up without a gift.
Oh, so it heals.
Just what we need.
Oh, okay, so it just does one big heal on a single person.
Beasts all over.
Interesting.
Put them down.
We'll see how this plays.
Beasts all over the ship. Put them down. What now?
I need to get closer. It is too far away.
So, looks like we're just going to stomp into some Morgans here. I really want to get past this little instance deal. This scenario getting into here so we can try and remain on our dungeon queue. Currently it's just paused, so hopefully that's still racking up time, so it puts us more in line. And it looks like these guys are loot bugged. I don't know if they're supposed to drop any loot or if it's just not letting us pick it up. Oh crap. Oh, good for that. Brought me back onto the ship. And that, sir, is the misclick of the century. But you can see how much distance you can cover with a double chi torpedo. Abigail the Huntress should be considered Abigail the pain in the ass for just running away. Now, yes, I am clicking for the abilities right now. I don't want to go through and redo mouse buttons. Plus, I'm playing with an older mouse, so all the stuff that's set up here is not set for this computer. So we're just going to maintain with the clicking. It's not like I plan on doing any actual damage over in the actual dungeons anyways, so I'll live with it.
Filthy Worgen. A beast in a hat is...
See how good of a heal this does. That topped me completely up. That was with 12 of them. Yeah, I can't loot anything here.
As many vials as you can carry and form upon me! The mixture in these vials is extremely volatile. Once you pop the cork, there's no containing it. Place a few vials near their ammunition. Before long, the ship will be tearing itself apart from the inside.
Okay.
Meet me on deck when the vials are in place. There is someone here I want to kill personally.
So he wants to get some revenge, it looks like.
Hello.
And you also want to kind of do the back and forth with the Tiger Palm. This is the buff that it's given. Blackout Kick or Rising Sun Kick do 30% extra damage. That's going to help a lot whenever you come down to, if you're wanting to quest this way. I'm not sure if you're going to get the second artifact quest at 110 or if they're going to do it a little sooner than that. But if you do decide that you're going to level as tank or heals, you're definitely going to want to try and learn how to DPS as them too. Or you're going to be using regular old weapons.
I am out of range.
Yeah, good old Alpha. Look at these guys. Running in place. Oh look, this one's even RP walk. Shailoon's gift heals for quite a bit. Find out exactly how much next time. Give us some enveloping mist. Alright, one down. It's a good thing this guy's got a bunch of health. So I'm not healing. So with only 4 stacks, let's see what it heals for, and 51,000. That's not bad for a 680 item level. Then you just have to worry about it building back up. But that was with only 4 of our stacks there. So Setting these bombs. Still seem to do a pretty decent amount of damage though as the as a Mistweaver. Oh, there we go. Seems like this guy decided to fix himself and come join the party.
It is too far away.
Yeah, there's definitely some work needed to be done in this instance. Let's see what this heals for. Shiloon's gift for almost 100k. That was only 6, 7. Oh, there was the reset on that Rising Sun kick too. Wish this NPC would help out a bit more. It doesn't seem like it's doing much in wave damage at all. Then again, he may be broken too.
I need to get closer.
Yeah, we're gonna go backtrack and go the other direction. Seems like it would be a little bit faster.
Quickly.
Guessing this is the guy that's supposed to be running with us. Take a second back up here and heal. Enveloping Mist is it's pretty strong. Not gonna lie. It's doing really well. As you can see, it almost topped me up completely in one cast. It is pretty expensive now though. In comparison, but I mean, your Essence font 12,800, that's, I think on live that's what a Circle of Healing ends up costing, is 12,800 for the Holy Priest. Alright, we're almost back up to 12 stacks with this Shiloons. We'll see what it actually heals for. There it is. There's 12 stacks. Pull up the combat log. What's it doing? 104,000. But there's also 163,000 overhealed. So 200,000? That's pretty insane. That's a huge heal. Again, this is still alpha, so there might be some tuning. But for right now, this is level 100 at a 680 item level. That's 263,000 healing. If you end up taking a look at the health, I have 332,000, so that's almost a full heal. That's like a lay on hands. Yeah, that's pretty insane. Enjoyable though. We'll see how it scales. Maybe we'll get into one of the 110 dungeons and it'll help us out a bit.
is too far away.
Alright, I'm gonna hang tight here for just 2 seconds and take a real quick break so I can grab some water, guys. Let's go ahead and chill out, relax, and we'll be back in a few seconds. Alright, and we are back. Whew, sorry about that. Had to get something. Throat was getting a little dry. And we're going to proceed on to
Out of range.
attacking imaginary. Alright, doesn't exist. We'll just place it. Now it's over here.
I need to get closer.
Yeah. Oh, alpha, alpha, alpha. Still a lot to be worked out,
It is too far away.
but it is looking a lot better than it was. Instance is kind of cool. It's kind of neat how you can actually see the cannons firing off even though there's no one working the cannons. They're magic cannons. The gnomes decided they're going to turn them into auto firing, right? Looks like maybe the last two are right here. Yeah, my NPC is actually broken and standing behind me also, so this doesn't really help much.
I need to get closer.
Also, guys, if you have any questions or comments, and even if you're watching this in review
I am out of range.
at a later date, I'll be more than glad to answer any questions to the best of my knowledge. I may not be 100%, and if it's lore, well, again, I'm trying not to read the lore until later. It's a huge heal coming out of that Shylun's gift when you get a high enough stack. And I mean, it's a free heal at that too. No mana usage. I really want to see how this plays out with an actual dungeon. See where we end up going. If the heals are going to be on par. Holy Priest is the only other thing that I've played healing wise. And I enjoy it. I really do. I take that back. I did try the Resto Druid. Resto Druid seems pretty much the same. It wasn't anything too drastic in the change. Didn't care for the artifact ability. All it is another small AoE heal.
I need to target something first.
Hell, I don't know what else to end up grabbing here, guys. Oh, there we go. I don't think these healing deals do anything else. Except for what it says on the actual tooltip, basically using it with the Shyluns. Looks like we still need to be inside for a bit.
What is it?
1 point off, so I guess I've gotta kill this guy. We'll try and wipe him out as quick as possible here. Now, if Rising Suncake's hitting this hard for Mistweaver right now, it's probably extremely overpowered on Windwalker. And we will definitely get some time in on a Windwalker here for those that are interested. Like I said, if Brewmaster comes out first, we'll hit it. Hey! It's finally done, but I'm still gonna have to fight these guys. Looks like I have to battle Jen Greymane. Yet another Greymane. Alright. Now, where do we go for this one? Gets all the way to the top. Ah, there we go.
Slay them all for the Dark Lady!
I need to get closer.
If the alpha wasn't gonna be such a pain.
I am out of range.
There we go. Looks like it decided to update position. That's why we're here to test it. I'll make sure I get this noted in fact, after this kill, or this group, we'll go ahead and mark it down.
It is too far away. I am out of range.
Take the ones that are actually reset in position correctly.
I need to get closer. It is too far away.
I truly don't even know what I'm in combat with right now. Probably both sides. But because of the way everything's glitching out on the ship right now, it's hard telling. But that's why we have testing. So they know what needs to be fixed. Looks like 2 more here. They're gonna go ahead and start in on Jen. NPCs, man. Always tunneling the boss.
You call us monsters? How rich! Stop holding back, old man. Show us the real you.
Alright, now that that's all dead. So far, the intro here is... Now, this is the intro to, what is it, High Mountain. The instance is pretty buggy. But we're still making it through, and again, we're still paused for a dungeon, so we should get a good preview of that once we actually get out of this thing. Damage-wise, as a healer, it goes as usual. Welcome, viewer. If you got any comments or questions on anything, go ahead and mark it up in chat. Get to it as quick as possible. Yeah, see, an alpha is alpha. There's supposed to be a cinematic there showing that we're doing something. Hopefully this will take us out of that instance and right into a dungeon. Ah, there we go. Finally out of it, back onto our actual dungeon queue, which is good. Hopefully after being in there for that while it doesn't cause any issues, but still not showing any DPS or tanks available. Should go quick, 51 minutes in queue. If the time delay is good and we got people on, it'll go.
Hey, keep it up.
What would you ask of death? Victory for Sylvanas.
For those that are just catching on, we actually ended up, I went over the base of the talents and the abilities a little bit earlier. It's a decent little ordeal. Pretty streamlined. As you can see, this is basically what you get. Very few on the damaging. You no longer end up doing the damage healing. Trying to think of the actual name from live, but that's how disinteresting Warlords of Draenor has turned into for me. Don't even get on there anymore. Just mainly stick to this alpha, doing the testing, and it's looking quite a bit better. We'll have to see how the end game turns out. Alright. General on the questing. Volatile subjects. Containment unit filled. As you can see, there's a huge difference on graphics. I do have it scaled down a bit for the actual live stream, but it still looks pretty good. I will say, damage-wise, Mistweaver's doing a lot better compared to the Holy Priest, which I did in my last stream. Holy Priest, it seemed like it was just taking forever to kill anything.
I am out of range.
The questing life. Always fun. I'd rather be in an instance. I'd also rather end up showing you guys the instance stuff. Maybe we'll get one that I haven't been through yet. Mixing in this Zen Pulse actually seems to be pretty good for an AoE pull. Seems to do a decent little amount of damage there. And then that extra little heal isn't too bad either. We're now an hour and a half into streaming. The very beginning was a quick overlook on all the Mistweaver monk talents and everything. Quick look at the spells that we had available. Now we're just kind of trying to get the process to complete here. Get us a dungeon. 58 minutes in the queue, but most of that was spent while we were... Basically, we just ended up fighting through the intro quest to High Mountain. At least I'm pretty sure that's where we were at. Never can tell right now. Sorry, Stormheim, not High Mountain. Been getting these names confused back and forth for quite a bit. Intro quest, pretty cool. A little on the buggy side, if you did end up missing it. It's completely instanced. Trying to get all these, well... Hell, that didn't work. Trying to collect what we need out of these barrels here. There's a few more of them. Look at this guy coming over and ninjaing my barrel. Seems like they're individual for each person, so that'll be nice. Don't have to worry about the quest destroyers here.
I need to get closer.
Looks like they increased the breath amount quite a bit too. I don't know if that's something they got in live or not. Don't do a lot of swimming, but looks like it's quite high. Alright, so we'll kill 2 more of these guys. And then proceed on. Welcome, viewer. Like I've told everybody else, if you got any questions, go ahead and ask. Just type it up in chat there, and I'll answer as best as possible. This will be put on as a saved recording later on if you want to end up seeing anything else with it. Kind of went over base talents and abilities at the very beginning. We've gone through and we've done the Stormheim intro quest, which is still really buggy, and the next thing that we're hoping to end up getting real soon is a dungeon queue to see how this plays out. I haven't actually done any dungeoning with this this Mistweaver, so we'll be pushing into it. Maybe we'll end up getting a decent queue and find out where we're at. I'd really like to get into a 110 scaled. We are queued for normal dungeon right now. Again, I haven't healed with this guy. At least not on the alpha, so.
I haven't got all day.
Bit more intel out of the chest, we'll go ahead and take it.
Do not test me. Make yourself useful. What is it?
Sheldora Silk. Looks like that's going to be the new cloth for tailoring. Still no DPS or tank. 1 hour 6 minutes in on the actual queue, and we're looking at 1 hour and 39 minutes of actual footage going on here for right now. That's how long we've been streaming. kind of neat that they've got it to where the Griffin riders actually land now. Alright, don't get caught in that stun. Again, for anyone that ends up tuning into this at a later time, if you have any questions or comments, please do end up leaving it on there, and I'll answer it to the best of my knowledge. As for right now, this is just a pretty slow questing situation. We should be getting into the actual dungeon work coming up pretty soon. Use the Shailin and see what it heals for. Looks like normal heal. 41,000 is what I ended up taking in healing, and then 92 over, so about 130k. Rough estimate. The aggro on these guys seems to be pretty high, but they do need to end up dying anyway, so it's all part of the quest. Again, guys, this is the Legion Alpha. We are questing in Stormheim as we wait for our dungeon queues. Seems like we're getting a lot of the shards of potentiation, which those are like the small, I think they give you 30 artifact power. Maybe more, maybe less. Could end up changing by the time it comes live too.
I need to get closer.
Let's see. This is a bug from earlier. The intro is still pretty buggy. that turned in. That's the whole reason why we're here, guys. Make sure that we end up testing this stuff. If we don't end up submitting what we end up finding, Blizzard doesn't know. So, key thing about it is, if you do end up getting a beta invite or an alpha invite, always make sure you submit what you find wrong. That's another reason why I'm kind of running through this as a Mistweaver instead of swapping to Windwalker. Everyone knows that the Windwalker is going to do well on DPS, but if you end up finding a glitch, fatal error, or something like that, while you're actually doing it this way, mind you, most people aren't going to be crazy enough to do this, but it is what it is. Make sure you get it turned in. Again, any questions or comments on what you might end up noticing in here that you might want to end up finding out about, just let me know. I'll answer it to the best of my knowledge. One thing is for sure, if you are planning on leveling as a Mistweaver, you don't have to worry about dying. Doesn't seem like anything's really hitting too terribly hard, but at the same time, it's going to take you forever to kill anything.
I need to target something first.
Pretty insane little echo that happened right there.
That's one of hers, all right. Out with it. For the Dark Lady.
Well, we gotta kill 3 more guys still. Ah, there we go. 3 DPS, just waiting on a tank. 1 hour and 15 minutes in queue. So be thankful to all these people that you're seeing dungeon queues for, because if you're not seeing it from a tanking perspective, or you're seeing them actually join as a group, guess what, guys? This is unbearable. I mean, you could end up being here as a crazy person, doing the whole Mistwalker thing. You know, Mistweaver meets Windwalker, like we're doing currently.
I am out of range.
Alright, that was our last kill. And it looks like you're kind of sharing kills now with people. There's no longer a tagged mob thing. We'll see how that plays out. Not 100% sure.
Make it quick. Try not.
So it looks like we gotta go kill this guy and take his head to somebody else. Get the head of Thane Wildsky.
We've bewitched him. You won't stop my hunt.
Should have known it was a dwarf.
It is too far away. I am out of range.
I think we're supposed to be moving him over into, this is the first NPC I've actually seen generate threat and do it well.
I need to...
And go figure, it's the one that we need to end up
Fool dwarf.
kiting him into stuff.
Hold.
It's not letting me loot the head either. Alright, I think it broke. Good old Alpha. When you can break the quest. Alright, here he is. We're supposed to be able to loot the head off of this guy.
It is too far away.
So you can see dragging him in here is giving him nature damage every few seconds. Good old hunters and their mobility. This guy's on the same quest. Maybe this time it'll let me actually loot the head and continue on.
I am out of range. It is too far away.
One thing's for sure, trying to chase this guy while this hunter's kiting it everywhere is a huge pain in the ass. There we go.
I do not have a target.
Alright, able to loot it this time.
Deliver his head to the foot.
And looks like all we're waiting on right now is a tank. We'll end up getting into this dungeon and seeing what's going on. We are queued for normal. This will be my first time healing on the Mistweaver in the alpha. We had already done the intro artifact quest. You'll be able to catch up on that coming up in the video that I'll post afterwards. I do end up keeping my live streams active. Alright, so gotta end up taking the head back. And I will make sure I annotate exactly where you guys will want to end up watching. So you can skip past all this other questing crap and go directly to the actual dungeons and the artifact quest stuff. Mind you, the artifact quest for the Mistweaver is by far the shortest one I have done so far.
Embrace the shadow.
Like always, if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and post them up. I'll answer them to the best of my knowledge.
is it? Get moving.
Ha. Good little upgrade piece.
Strength alone will not win what you seek. But it will get you started. Find me near Agramar's vault, and I will put your strength to the test.
It seems like they've got the voice acting in, but it's a little on the glitchy side. There's been a lot of echoing and random bassy effects whenever they play some of the voice editing still. Or voice acting. I still need to do editing. One hour and 24 minutes into the queue here. We've actually been streaming for an hour and 57 minutes.
I am out of range. I need to get closer. I need to target something first.
Little SI7 spy bot here. We're gonna kick it. Guessing, yeah. Adds to the bonus objective here. I'd really like to get into this dungeon, kind of give you guys a look at what this healing's like. So far, I haven't ended up healing anything dungeon or raid-wise on the Mistweaver. So I'd like to end up seeing what it's like myself. Currently just pushing these quests. Simple click and go. And they do decent damage for healers, but at the same time, it's it would still be wiser to go Windwalker. Just doing this for testing purposes. If you guys got any questions or comments, please do post them up in chat. I'll be more than glad to answer them as best as possible.
Range. I need to get...
Seems like these little spy bots give the best amount.
It is too far away.
We should be getting pretty close to our actual queue here, guys. We've got 3 DPS. We're an hour and 26 minutes in, so the next tank available will probably come to us. So we can hope. So, this is questing in Stormheim, for those of you that are just tuning in. It's pretty basic. The intro is actually instance. It's a scenario. Pretty decent. Still extremely broken. You got messed up views, angles, and then a lot of mobs that are just glitched in place. All that will actually be in the video I do end up doing a live stream recording if you wanted to come back and check it out later after I'm done. It'll process and be up. And then I'll also end up adding in the annotation showing you guys exactly where the artifact quest starts, and also where the well, definitely where the dungeon will end up being. So if you want to skip any of this quest and stuff. But again, we should be looking pretty close. As you can see, an hour and 28 minutes in. That's it's a pretty positive deal. So there's supposed to be, I guess, a couple NPCs around here that we gotta end up killing. And I am not seeing them anywhere. Yeah. See, good old Alpha. This guy's walking up and down the wall. That's why we're here. End up testing it out. Make sure whenever you end up seeing stuff like this, if you do end up getting Alpha invites, you end up marking it. You know, it's small stuff like that that actually matters. It's all part of being a tester, guys. These guys are hitting a little harder than usual. You'll see as I end up doing damage, and I haven't played Windwalker either, so I'm not sure if this is how it's going to play out also. But basically what you're doing whenever you damage as a Mistweaver, sorry, you always want to hit Tiger Palm to end up getting this buff first. It basically causes an additional 30% damage for Blackout Kick and Rising Sun. So just something to keep an eye out for. Kind of gives you a little bit of a rotation DPS. And yeah, I am just clicking. I don't have this set up for this computer. So we're just clicking through, doing what we can. There we go. There's one of the guys we need. Don't know why I used an AoE heal, but hey, it was shiny. We'll go with it. Basically what that proc's going to end up coming from too is your Renewing Mist. Renewing Mist now has a 4% chance to cause your Vivify to do, what, 150%? Not 50% extra healing. Vivify is like a new 3-person AoE heal. So it's not horrible, it's kind of spam worthy whenever it's procced, but without the proc it really isn't worth casting. So I've noticed whenever we ended up going through the artifact quest, it just seemed really light on the heals. And then you'll also see these little like mist clouds over here. That actually ties into your artifact. You see that number down at the bottom, that shows how many clouds are actually available. There's 12 of them. And we're going to go ahead and pull it off. And it's going to heal you for, see, 0 nature healing, mainly because I was full on health, but it did do like 134,000. So it's a pretty strong heal when you're stacked. I don't want to deal with this guy again. We're going to just torpedo out of here. Apparently he doesn't like that idea. How we go. 1 hour, 32 minutes into this queue. Come on, tank. Quit being prima donnas and queue already. Moonkin's got a little heart over its head. Ah, that's why. That's the other person I need to be after. This, I guess this is her little pet that's in love with her. It's kind of funny. Beware Moonkins. For those of you that are questing in Stormheim, there is Moonkin on Moonkin love out here. Combat as a healer in total is still slow, but I will say this, at least you don't stand a chance of dying. Some of this stuff does hit pretty hard. Some of the DPS classes that I played on through some of these quest areas, that they get wrecked, man. They just get destroyed. There's no chance of healing up, and mind you, this is most of you that have been doing any heroic or mythic raiding throughout Warlords of Draenor, this isn't going to bug you at all, but when you start Alpha, you actually start at a 680 item level whenever you create the character. So that's basically them saying, okay, you have just leveled up to 100, you can go straight into this content and still do alright, but it is going to, it's going to wreck you a little bit. And they'll probably tune it down a little after we end up getting through with all our mains and stuff. They'll probably tune it down, so make it easier for newer players. But you come into this, like my main's 739. You come into this 739 item level, you're going to blow through this. Alright. We're going to go ahead and enter this dungeon. Which one we got here? Halls of Valor, and looks like it's right in the middle of combat. Again, I have not played this at all, so not in the alpha at least. We'll see how this turns. Looks like we got a Demon Hunter tank. They seem to be doing pretty good on their self heals. It's probably why he survived so well. Looks like we're coming up to the dog boss. I have not actually done this myself. I've seen a few videos on it, but I have not done this this dungeon on my own. I mean, obviously everybody saw the whole race for the dungeon. Where you had the Fat Boss team on the European side, and then you had Tally and a few others on the American side. That was a pretty decent little race. Yeah, and there's the boss off in the distance. Now this is a normal content dungeon. It's not heroic or anything, nothing, so we won't see any of the heroic abilities. And this guy is... This bear's doing some work. Not sure if it's the bear or the wolf. I do have, give you a brief overlook at the talents that'll matter here. I do have Mistwrap, which increases enveloping misses duration by 1 second and its healing bonus by 20%. So instead of 30%, it does 50% in extra healing from your heals over time. We'll go ahead and toss that up on him. The other thing too is it allows you to channel Seething Mist while moving, which will help us a lot in mobility. The other thing I ended up taking here is Zen Pulse. Seemed pretty cool for AoE pulls. Should work good on a Demon Hunter because they seem to want to pull like crazy. What it does is it causes a pulse, 15-second cooldown. It's basically a free heal. It does AoE damage and then heals the target ally for the amount of AoE damage it does. I decided to go with Chi-Ji. Seemed like a neat little on-demand cooldown. Summon Jade Statue is now a cooldown and in your talent selection. Kinda sucks, not gonna lie. It only does single target stuff, so that makes it a little... and he's pulling already, so we'll go ahead and pull this down. Only other thing was Focus Thunder, and it's just Focus Thunder affects 2 spells now. Seems like this bleed's kind of a neat little deal. Go ahead and toss out a Vivify. Ooh. So he also does a Spell Lock. There's a 3rd stack of that. Toss out some slightly bigger heals here. So single target, Zen Pulse doesn't do much of anything. Looks like we got him on retreat. Looks like whenever he does retreat, whenever he's retreated, he's he removes that dot, so that's kind of nice. You don't have to worry about healing it while you chase him down. Bunch of little wolves here. There he is, injured. Let's follow the blood splatter if you have any issues. It's one of the other things I've heard about this guy is he does end up having a multiple path area. It's not set in stone where he ends up going. So there he is, jumping around, tossing his debuff again. Now I heard he's... oh wow.
I need to get closer.
So, Scent of Blood. Run like hell. Got it. Chi Torpedo doing some work. We're going to go ahead and use Shayloons. It's pretty huge. Check out Vivify. Or, sorry, Essence Font. Healing seems pretty decent, guys. As long as you don't get Spell Lock. It seems good. Seems like it's got a lot of control. Some people just don't know how to run. I do like the Chi Torpedo. It works out pretty good. These stacks of Scent for Blood, though, they are stacking up pretty quick. Currently we're at 5 stacks and it's doing 200,000 physical damage. I'm probably going to end up dying because of this thing. Once you get the stacks at Shiloon's, it helps out quite a lot. These stacks are getting ridiculous. Revival sucks. And that was it. So yeah, if we wouldn't have lost the DPS towards the beginning there, from getting chased down and just munched to death, we probably would have been alright. Yeah, that 71,000 a tick. Mind you, I've only got 337,000 health, so that was some pretty insane amounts of damage that was chunking out. But there's that insane healing that comes from the demon hunters. And he might even have this, who knows? It's an awful lot of health. Take a look at some of these dragons that are up here. If he'd just die, we'd be alright, but it doesn't seem like he's getting the, tanks aren't getting the stacks, so. Looks like Chi Torpedo can actually stack its speed buff too, so that'll be nice. Get you some major distance covered and keep you going. Such a nice looking dungeon though. Alright, so maybe we'll end up getting it to where the DPS actually kite the scent for blood instead of wanting to stand there and get destroyed. Now I did end up picking this up. They had already killed the first boss, and it looked like their healer ended up leaving. So I picked it up about halfway through the trash inside this little zone here, so we'll see how it plays. That's kind of a cool effect. Instead of a load screen, it seems to do a transition. That's really cool. Hopefully the tank doesn't want to end up pulling this right off the bat. As we have yet to get our DPS over here, and he's got aggro. Let him know before that thing pulls everything. It doesn't look like this yak actually hits too terribly hard. And guys, this is the Halls of Valor. If you haven't seen this on any other videos or anything, but we're actually coming over here to Fenrir, the dog. We did wipe once, mainly because Fenrir decided he wanted to do Scent for Blood, and people didn't end up running away from him, so he munched our DPS. And then we just got too many stacks of the bleed, and it killed us. As you can see, if he catches you, he does hit pretty hard. This is just the normal version. Figure you'll probably take about 2 hits before it actually... here we go. He's going to start stacking his bleed. Just make sure you spread out. Otherwise, you can get multiple stacks. It's not a very hard bleed, but it's definitely going to become a soft enrage. You can tell that much. This is also my first time healing with, for those of you that have just entered, this is my first time healing with the Mistweaver in a dungeon content. And we gotta spread out for this. Range is an issue. Ooh. Alright. Good thing though, Chi Torpedo works great. Try and get Enveloping Mist out on a few. As you can see, we kind of got a few more stacks than we should have. We did end up getting him. He does end up doing 2 different phases. The first one, and then you get a second one where he runs off after so much health has been knocked off. That cooldown on Renewing Mist being 8 seconds, it's really throwing me off. I really wish we had a chance to have the 3 stacks yet again. I think that would help a ton. Just so you've got a chance of actually getting out there, especially since it doesn't split anymore. It's not really an AoE style heal platform. It's just a hot. If the person's at full health, whenever it heals, then it'll just move on to someone else. It doesn't split anymore. I really like that graphic instead of a loading screen. I'll let this guy walk past real quick. Again, you can see that I'm channeling Soothing Mist as I end up walking. That is coming from a talent, this Mist Wrap. Basically increases the duration of Enveloping Mist by 1 second and the healing bonus by 20%. Normally Enveloping Mist would do a 30% increase healing from the hots. Now it's doing 50%. And it allows you to channel as you end up running. Mobility's always been a good key factor, especially in almost any raid environment. If you guys got any questions or comments on anything, just go ahead and leave me a comment and I will answer it to the best of my knowledge. The other ability you see up here is Zen Pulse. The more damage it ends up doing, the better off it is. So it's great for on the spot healing for tanks that are pulling large numbers of ads. So a little bit later on, and some scaling, challenge modes will probably be. It'll be a good item for that. Looks like these guys are too busy fighting each other, so we can just skip them.
Through great deeds of courage and valor, Persia has earned this most sacred of rights. She shall ascend as one of my chosen Valkyr, and her name shall echo in these gilded halls for all eternity.
So far, mana hasn't been an issue. Seems like a decent spec, honestly. They brought down a lot of abilities, and instead of channeling Soothing Mist as an actual active ability, it just does it on its own. The new mastery actually does a heal on top of whatever heal you end up doing. So it's anything you end up casting, you're gonna get this. That's why the numbers seem a little low, like this 13,842. Well, on top of that, I'll show you the mastery here. Your mastery is actually doing another heal, instantly healing the primary target for 16,000. So that's it. All the numbers seem low, but you're actually getting 2 heals on one. And then this is our ability out of the artifact weapon, Shailoon's Gift. You've got a bunch of clouds. You see the number down here at the bottom. That's actually how many clouds you've got in the area. You're going to end up hitting that, and it's going to heal for a ton. See, 83,000. And we are still scaled at level 100. So, it's a neat little piece to end up adding. You also see that Vivify ended up getting a proc there. What Vivify's proc comes from is actually Renewing Mist. So if you end up keeping that up on as many people as possible, it's pretty decent. Get it? It's a 4% chance per tick, so. And basically what it does, the proc itself is Vivify heals 3 people for an X amount. So it's a small AoE heal, but at the same time it also ends up... Let me get the hell out of this. Had no idea what was going on there for a second. Again, this is my first run through here, so... Small learning experiences. For your fast and efficient heal too, the Fuse seems to heal really well. Kind of cool little mini boss out of him.
Is yours to command.
Back to what I was saying though is I believe I was on the Shailoon's Gift, or no, I was talking about the Vivify. Vivify doesn't do much by itself, but with the proc, it does a 50% increase healing. So every time you see that pop up, it actually, for 6,400 mana, it does really well. So it's just a good idea to keep Renewing Mist up. And this is a interesting little deal. See, it popped him up pretty good using that Vivify with the proc. And then again, like I was saying, even though these numbers, like this says 13,000, well, you got to remember the other items too. It looks like these guys, whenever they cast it out, it's actually soaking into one person, so you don't have to worry about it passing through them. It looks like just hide behind someone. Probably the tank would be the best idea. Looks like this is the boss. I think the tank knows what it's doing. Seems to.
I will not
I have not been in here personally. I've seen videos. I have no idea what that is. Alright, basic AoE. Looks like get the hell in the bubble. Now mind you, this is still level 100 at a 680 item level. Doesn't seem like mana's too much of an issue. Oh, alright. Does a little knockback to the tank. Now I do know that this is supposed to be building some sort of stacks. But it really doesn't seem to be doing too terrible much. And I'm probably overhealing like crazy. But again, look, mana-wise, looking good.
You will pollute these halls no more!
She's at 8 stacks of whatever this is. Damage done by Eye of the Storm increased by 120%. Wow. We don't want to get hit by this now. Really seems very negatable. Again, this is alpha, this is normal. They might change something.
Be gone from these hallowed halls!
Up to 11 stacks now. And I'm pretty sure this isn't how the fight's supposed to go. But again, this is alpha, this is normal. You definitely don't want to be caught outside of it. That warrior just got hit hard.
I look forward to meeting you within the Hall of Glory.
Alright, so looks like we're heading to the Halls of Glory now. And some sort of circle, get out of the group. And I'm guessing that was Hirja. That boss definitely, again, and for normal, I guess it's debatable. Heroic and challenge modes, they're going to have to do something, like make the shield weaker or something. If you're able to do that right now, it's not really worth the fight. Pretty simple boss, actually. Fenrir had quite a bit more mechanics. You know, he's got the charge, he's got the bleed. That bleed stacks up pretty decent. It's probably going to be a pain in the ass on heroic and challenge modes. Let's see what the Demon Hunter tank's doing here. Again, guys, if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and post them up in there. I will answer them as best as possible and as quick as possible. Holy crap. That was just a chain of bullshit right there. I'll try and hurry up and haul ass back in. Oh, come on.
I'm out of range.
All right. That line of lightning hurts. That is a crazy amount of damage out of that thing. So yeah, so we're looking at another spot that needs some tuning still. Hopefully I can get back before this tank dies. Good old Blizzard. They definitely bring in the stuff that'll wreck you, that's for sure. And I think you might have grabbed 2 mobs that weren't supposed to be grabbed together also. Holy. There's no getting out of that. That thing just targets me every single time. So much for random targeting. I know what it is. It's targeting me because I'm a panda. When in doubt, blame pandas. Or hunters. Oh, this light bridge is way cooler in actual game. Minus the elemental pet that doesn't get the buff. Again, first time in this dungeon, personally, and the first time actually healing with Mistweaver.
Which will echo through eternity.
On the alpha. Live, I've done a lot of healing with a Mistweaver. Usually, that's what I mainly end up doing is healing. So, I get pretty touchy when it comes to some. As for any other, you know, my main's actually an elemental shaman, but I do end up healing quite a bit. And I have yet to test anything with the Resto Shaman. We may go over that on Wednesday's live stream from 9 to noon Central Time. So far, I guess this is the council fight. Pretty generic trash so far. Probably get a little more exciting, maybe. Pretty decent heal out of Vivify when it's procced. Without it being procced, it's pretty light. Yeah, this guy's dying, buffing the other two. See how this turns out. So far, other than the lightning lines, the dungeon seems like it's pretty well tuned. Let's give this Essence font. So this is Essence font, our new little AoE deal. Basically, it looks like the what was it, Chi Wave or Chi Blast, whatever it was, that bounce around, but it all comes straight from you. Ah, here I am with the Nature Lock. Twice. Just go ahead and make sure we pop everyone up real quick. Alright, so it looks like the red visual is actually them getting ready to do their interrupt. So there's a shield. From some of the other videos I've seen, this actually looks like basically you use the shield and you gotta hide behind it.
To have proved my worth, Odin.
It actually shows who's got it too. That's kind of cool.
These mortals.
I gotta say they've done a lot of work with their raid frames. That they've done a huge update here. They've also done a visual update for just about everything. It's not just the characters, but the environments have changed a lot. Your dungeons look absolutely fantastic. The only one that seems like it's still got any visual work that I've seen currently is Darkheart Thicket. But Vault of the Wardens, that place is gorgeous. Which I do have another video getting ready to come up with the Vault of the Wardens. It's going to be with the Demolock P. Whoa!
You overestimated your skill.
Alright, so, gotta get behind that shield. Again, first time in here, first time healing on this guy.
Mine.
Very interesting, though. Big old oopsie there.
I will not be stopped.
So we'll get up here as quick as possible and re-engage this guy. Interesting. So, the buff you get while coming up here is called Bifrost, and it's rainbows. Alright. Let's get back on track and pay a little more attention to what's actually going on here. So it looks like they gotta use the shield whenever a huge ability comes out, and if you don't get behind it, as you can see, it will wreck you pretty quick. And this is normal, still alpha tuning, but it didn't really seem like it gave much time for any prejudice. So it's either a learn it or die. I'm just going to make sure I stand behind the tank the whole time. Don't know if he's doing any cleaving, but... okay. So there's the Ragnarok. That's the ability we were just killed by. And yeah, you get behind that shield, it does pretty much nothing. So good.
Ah, the Aegis goes to its rightful owner.
So now he's got a shield. Guessing you can only DPS him from behind. Well, these little flames actually give you a decent little added effect when you stand in them, which is always good. It kind of like hey, dumbass, get the hell out, like the live GTFO, except instead of audible, it's visual. Being that it's not a third-party program, it'll probably work a lot better. You won't have to worry. Whoa. Back to the Ragnarok.
Now the Aegis is where it belongs.
So he's not too bad as long as you you pay attention. That Ragnarok is pretty brutal. It'll make or break your group, that's for sure.
Most impressive. I never thought I would meet it.
Currently sitting at 2 hours and 45 minutes on the stream.
There is one.
The video will be posted afterwards, and I will annotate where the dungeon starts and where the artifact quest and everything starts.
Of your name.
So you can definitely end up checking that out after we get done here.
Lord,
So we'll probably call it after this boss,
it has been ages.
just since we got some dungeon info.
Let the battle begin!
Now I've seen a few videos on this one personally. Again, I have not been in here. So Nothing seemed too rough. Looks like just stay out of where the swords. And get the hell out of that. Good part about being a monk. Woo! Yeah, it definitely doesn't play around. So you got swirly circles of doom, a pull in. I gotta get to this green mark.
I need to get closer.
Go ahead and help out the DPS a little here. Tank's not taking too much damage on this fight.
Now, for I will call upon my true power.
I am out of range.
Go ahead and just pop the crane out so it'll run around while we DPS a little bit on it. Crane's kind of neat. Runs around, just taps everybody. We're going green again. I wonder if this is going to end up changing or if that's just the way it plays. Like, if you always get the same mark while you're in this dungeon. Be an interesting thing for me to end up testing here. And I'll let you guys know.
My power is beyond anything you have yet faced.
It is too far away.
This fight doesn't seem to have too much to consider punishing at all. Just got time warp. I think we should have
Let us see if your wits are sharp enough. I
probably should have held off on that, but
truly remarkable creatures.
all right. So that's Odin,
You will have your just.
and that is going to be the Halls of Valor. So I really do appreciate you guys watching. Again, I will be doing this. I do this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9 to noon. Just started getting it going, so if you do have any questions or comments, go ahead and throw them out on any one of my videos, and I will try and get to them. I usually try and get to them within the hour if I can. But then again, a guy's got to sleep, so I'll check you out, and if you end up liking what you see, smash that like button, and also, again, just comment, engage with it, guys. Really like to end up hearing from you. All right? Thanks, and have a good one.